Well, it's been months, but it's finally time to find out who the next Smash Bros. Fighter is. I hope it's going to be better than Min Min, but we haven't seen Rillaboom yet, so... let's just hope they haven't fucked it up. Hello everyone, this is VG Master 2, back with not Pokemon, thank God! So it's been over a quarter of a year since we had Min Min's release, and since then we have known absolutely nothing. I had once theorized that E3 would have net us the reveal of 2 characters, and with Min Min having been fully announced and released in June, and this being the second in the past, I think it's safe to say that whatever this is was going to have been the second E3 announcement. There's not much background before this one. It was merely announced literally the day before it happened. They were really eager to drop this. That's really weird. Usually they'd announce it half a week to a week early to rile everyone up. Whatever, let's get into it. The presentation literally begins with a fucking countdown, and then we're greeted by normal gameplay of Mario getting his ass handed to him by only third-party characters, which is totally not suspicious at all. Mario then gets punched by Sonic into another fucking dimension, and then... that's right, Minecraft fucking Steve, baby! The trailer then shows off some of Steve's moveset, and also reveals that Alex, the alternate default skin in base Minecraft, is an alt, because of course she is. And also, funnily enough, so are a zombie and an unnaturally short Enderman, which is actually a pretty nice inclusion. We also see his final smash and one of his victory screens as per usual. After the trailer, we see Sakurai in his humble abode, where after talking about how Nintendo basically pestered him into adding Minecraft to Smash, and how he basically had to recode a fuck ton of the game to get Steve to function in the best possible way, holy shit, he says that the real, full presentation is 2 days later on October 3rd. And, oh hey, it's the same day as Mojang's Minecraft presentation, Minecraft Live. In fact, it's right before it. In fact, they mention as much. Oh gee, wow, that's totally just a coincidence. It's definitely not coordinated whatsoever. But before we skip to the actual presentation, I'm going to give my opinions on this now to make things easier for myself. As some of you watching may know, I've wanted Steve in Smash since before Banjo. In fact, initially, I was mad that Banjo made it in because I thought that Steve would have made more sense from a financial and business standpoint. But even after I came to accept Banjo with open arms, I was one of the people who believed that Steve still had a chance. And well, we weren't wrong. Suffice to say, I was ecstatic. The moment I realized it was Steve was when I recognized the spider and Enderman eyes surrounding Mario, and when Steve finally appeared, I spent the rest of the trailer fucking cackling like a goddamn hyena. Gotta say, it feels really weird to actually be happy with a decision made by modern-day major companies. I was practically expecting Rillaboom. Of course, this means that Rillaboom is either later down the line or not happening at all, and while I'd prefer not at all, I can't let my guard down yet. As we know, Pokemon is inevitable. The most interesting thing about this is that Steve is not only yet another Western character, being a Swede, but he's also our first indie character. At least, he started as an indie before getting bought by Microsoft, which, oh yeah, makes him our second of that too. Motherfucker, we live in a world where Microsoft has more fighters in a Nintendo game than Namco, even though they've basically always had a better relationship with Nintendo, and even helped make this and the fucking previous game. Fucking rip Namco. I only wish that Steve was just a little bit more stylized. I know the joke is supposed to be that Minecraft is really stiff and he looks like he just came right out of his game, But there are features coming to Minecraft and things in the spin-offs that make the characters even a smidge more expressive, and it would have been amazing to see them characterize Steve and apply him to the unified style. Also, they gave him his fucking beard. Yeah, this thing that they only ever use in the early stages of development and on promotional art for some fucking reason is a beard, not a smile. Thanks, I hate it. Why in God's name did you include it? The overall community's reaction was interesting. Though I say it was a net positive because Twitter went down. Yeah, people went so crazy that one of the biggest and worst social media sites of all time crashed and broke. God fucking speed, Steve. God fucking speed. I'd say most of the reception was positive, but there were a few retards who were upset because Steve's community is full of children, and while I fucking despise children, especially when they're in a community for a series that isn't even targeted at them, I don't really have a problem with that because usually the children are just cringy, whereas the real annoying, bad, and retarded shit comes from man-children. The thing I more have problems with are the companies, because sometimes, like with Bethesda, they are absolute dog shit. Fortunately, Mojang hasn't done anything strictly anti-consumer that we know of, but unfortunately, they're still fucking awful. Because they are super left-leaning, politically. They are beyond liberal. I'm talking infused with the power of Twitter left-leaning, and they are more than open about it. Motherfuckers had a section in Minecraft Live where they basically said they'd add events to the game to lecture people about how they're bigoted and awful and need to become social justice activists, and eventually proceeded to rave about their players in China. Fucking kill me. It also appears somewhat frequently in their community posts, and it's almost definitely on their Twitter. In cases like that, I'd say those communities should not be included because they will come in, complain about every little thing, and then rip everything good away from you, even though they are the invaders. However, thankfully, a good chunk of the player base, not necessarily the YouTubers, the normal players, seem to fucking hate Mojang's attempts at virtue signaling, so that's good. Anyway, I'm kinda getting ahead of myself. Let's move on to the actual presentation. We immediately start in Sakurai's house, where he talks about how his company isn't really a company and he's just a freelance worker. Honestly, at this point, I don't know why he doesn't let himself get hired for Nintendo, since I don't think he's done anything with anyone outside of it, but he likes to keep his options open, and that's pretty commendable. He explains that he made this video in mid-August, not too far from the actual release. He talks about the fact that there's no one to laugh at his jokes because he's alone, and cue all of the sheep saying that they'll laugh at his jokes. Also, if you couldn't tell, there's subs instead of dubs. Sakurai says that since he's working from home, he couldn't play tests with other people, but he somehow managed to do this via online battles, even though the online sucks, though it's apparently not enough. This is basically a failsafe to make sure he can't be held accountable for false advertising if Steve is somehow radically different than how he appears in the showcase. Now, I'm not going over every move, that's what Sakurai and people who weren't late are for, but I must say, holy shit does Steve have a variety of moves. I think he has the most variety of any fighter. Motherfucker, he can mine for resources, create almost every single tool and weapon type, from wood through diamond, pull blocks out of his ass to the point that he can legit just create pathways and walls to fuck with people, use the elytra, drop anvils, summon magna blocks and lava, grab motherfuckers with a fishing pole, place TNT with a redstone trail, and fucking murder bitches by running them over with a minecart that, oh yeah, you can make powered rails for. Holy fucking shit, this bitch is insane. No wonder this presentation clocks in at 45 fucking minutes. Oh, and his final smash shoves you into a stone prison, where you are then absolutely massacred by creepers who set off a fuck ton of TNT. and Steve just fucking consumes meat as you blow the fuck up. Also, his perfect shield summons his actual shield. Putting him to sleep results in him pulling out of bed, and Cube Kirby, this is not a drill. The stage is called Minecraft World, which actually has 6 variants that the game can choose from when loading up. Some of them have hidden platforms, and all of them can be interacted with on some level. And depending on the biome you get, the things you mine will be received in different amounts, which is also true on other stages. Steve comes with 7 tracks, which I think is the smallest amount so far since Hero came with 2 from each of the represented games. What sucks though is that there aren't any songs from the original game, which unfortunately means no stall. However, all but one of the songs are new arrangements. People have theorized that they couldn't get their hands on any of the original songs because of copyright, which is almost understandable because apparently adding Steve might have been 5 fucking years in the making. It seriously makes me wonder what the fuck they'd been doing the whole time, because Phil Spencer seemed like a cool dude when adding banjo, and I see no reason why Steve would be different. So I'm going to assume that Mojang was being a huge fucking bitch. Now for what has sadly become the most exciting part of this shit, the Mii Fighter costumes. We've got a creeper, a vertical pig, aka Technoblade, diamond armor, some fucker named Gil from the Tower of Druaga, and a deluxe Mii costume for Bomberman that actually comes in different colors. This is essentially more confirmation that they're refusing to turn assist trophies into fighters. Oh, also, Travis Touchdown, who they can't legally list as being from No More Heroes, so they list him as being from fucking Travis. Nice save, Nintendo. Steve and all of the Mii costumes came out on October 13th, which was months ago because I'm a huge fucking procrastinator. So, with that being said, I'm VG Master 2, and I still have a fuck ton of shit to catch up on.